When people use graphical software inside a Unix or Unix-like environment, they completely miss the whole point of using Unix in the first place. Unix was designed to be used through a command line interface, and the core utilities, which are one of the most major factors that actually define what Unix is, are seeing less and less use, especially with the increasing popularity of GNU/Linux among Windows users who switch to it. New users that come from Windows and the Mac OS seem appalled at the idea of using a command line interface at their computer, since it's something new and something they've never done before. They expect everything to be in a Windows or Mac OS-like environment, i.e. there's Windows for everything, like you can just open up a file manager from your start menu or whatever you want. But that really shouldn't be the case, because as I said earlier, the core utilities or the command line environment is one of the things that defines Unix. And I mentioned Mac OS even though it is also Unix based, and the reason I mentioned it was because it's one of those operating systems that is so under corporate control and so normified that pretty much the command line is not even heard of there, except among programmers. Plus, it's not like you can do much to the macOS environment anyway, since it's so locked down. However, in GNU/Linux and the BSD family and pretty much every other Unix operating system, you are able to utilize the command line environment to your needs. And here's one of the things that I want to show you. So for example, if I cat out EDC shells, I will get my login shells. Now, so first of all, here's how it should work. Everything is in plain text, so all of these commands, all these core utilities are designed to work with plain text. That's one of the reasons I use Vim for everything and never use any word processors or even rich text editors. So this is a config file for my shells. Everyone has one of those on their computer. And one of the commands that really demonstrates this well, or not commands, features on the terminal, is pipes. And pipes allow you to concatenate commands in such a way that the output from the previous command is fed into the input of the next command. It works like this. So this command edc shells, if we cat it, we get this file, the output of the file. And the output of the file can be put into a command called awk. And awk is able to process every line of the file, and you specify the limiters for it. So for example, the slash here, and you can process columns of a file like that. So you can select limiters and select what would be a column in the file. So let's give an example here. How it works is you specify a limiter like this, and then you specify a command or a sequence of commands that will print, or this one will print the first column. And so here the field separator is the slash, and it printed the first column. So it's a bunch of white space and the hashtag here, as you can see. We can print the second one or the third one. So basically, it's really useful for processing any kind of config files or text files in general. And the pipe is a feature that is completely missed in any graphical environment that you may use in a Unix operating system. And the pipe is really a core feature that should be utilized. Next there's output redirection, and of course, so let's give an example here. I'll just do df-h, and this will give me my disks and how much is used and how much is available and their size. And I can, for example, put that into disks.txt and then cat that file out. And in that way I will save my disk info to a file really easily. And you can't really do that here, or in a graphical environment. Even if you had to do, say, a disk check, like you had to check how much you're using, the feature to save it into a file would have to be built into the program itself, and it would not be possible to do something like this so easily. Also, there are a huge number of tiny utilities that are extremely useful in day-to-day use. So, for example, NL, which all this does is it numbers the lines in a file. Extremely useful. Or head, which gets the... Actually, I guess this isn't a very good file to do it with. How about I just do ps aux and put that into processes.txt, and then, so this will be a very large output. I want to get the first couple of characters of this, or first couple lines. I will do head processes, and I'll get the first couple lines. So really everything is designed to work in the command line environment, and every similarity that a GNU/Linux or BSD system has with Windows is intentional, i.e. it's trying to mimic what Windows is, and I really don't see the point in that, because even the whole floating window management ordeal is completely stupid. Like, even though I use it, and I use it not even because I like it, but because it's on Linux Mint, and not bother to install something that's more complex. I have it set up to tile like this, but this floating windows just makes no sense. Of course, you can make your life easier on the command line with bash aliases. I have a couple set up here, so a bunch for updates actually, and the package management. For example, if I just type U and then my administrator password, I can update my whole system. And it really is so much more convenient to do everything from one program, or one window, should I say, the terminal emulator, because you can view your processes, you can view system stats, you can SSH into something, and whatever. Let's see, now I'm on my Arch server and did that in a couple seconds. Didn't have to open up a TTY client or SSH client, whatever. So yeah, this is the Unix environment, and in my opinion it should really be used like a Unix environment and not attempt to mimic any existing normie operating system like Windows or Mac OS.